What we're going to be talking about today are two things that are in the comment section. First of all, it's going to be upholstery suppliers. Second is going to be the dreaded yellow airbag question, the airbags in cars. So airbags in cars is a huge controversy, and you're going to see why in a minute. Well, hello there, friends. So today we have some good news and we have some bad news. Which one do you want to hear about first? I'm going to see if I can actually talk and do this at the same time. Usually I'm always so focused for something that has to be this precise. So if you wanted to hear about the good news first, I guess maybe we should start off with the bad news first. Or is it good news? No, I guess I'll let you decide. I don't know if I can do this and talk at the same time. I don't want to screw this up. So anyway, I guess I'm just going to move off of this here for a second. So, okay, the bad news? Bad news. Okay, the bad news is really only for one person. Okay, we had a top bidder for the sewing machine. Okay, I had to call him up this morning, and I had to tell him, actually we had a really pleasant conversation. I had to tell him that I have to cancel the auction for the sewing machine because of lack of interest. Okay, so the only reason I even did that in the first place because there was like 100 people that said that they wanted my sewing machine. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to give everybody a chance at it. So that's why I decided on an auction. But in the end, as you can see, there was like I only had like 3 bidders, okay, after everything was done. So I guess that's the bad news for the high bidder. But I did call him, and we did have a really nice conversation. He's a great guy. So anyway, he said that was cool because the situation is we don't know how long it's going to take for this property here to sell. We can't leave for the Philippines until this property sells, which means I need income. So my wife, she straightened me all out real quick, right? Wives do that. And she explained to me, well, what's going to happen if it doesn't sell in 6 months and you sell the sewing machine now? What are we going to do for income? Okay, so, she always helps me to see the light. So anyway, that brings us to the good news. The good news is that there's going to be more sewing videos, right? Okay, so that means if I have more stuff coming in, that means more videos and more techniques. And that's what everybody was asking about because, they wanted me to take my sewing machine with me so that way I can continue to make sewing videos. But it looks like for the meantime, I don't know how long it's going to take, but, we're going to be making some sewing videos. So, is that good news or is that bad news? I'll let you guys decide in the comments. I have a pretty good idea that people are going to say that they're glad I'm not selling the sewing machine. Even one person had suggested that our sewing community here, that everybody should get together, pitch in, and give me the money that I otherwise would have sold the sewing machine for. So that way I can keep the sewing machine and still get paid for it. Well, that was a nice idea, but I guess that won't have to happen. Or anything like that would have to happen. But I guess it was a nice thought. Look at that. Here we go. So, like I explained earlier when I was doing the other cushions for this motorcycle seat here. Oh, by the way, this is the 3 matching cushions for the one that I made a video for a few weeks ago. Anyway, I got to finish this stuff up here for the customer. And that's what this stuff is. But if you're off 1 millimeter, one way or the other, you are going to see it. And we don't want anybody to see anything like that, right? So I guess I can continue with this here later. If you find value in my upholstery tutorials, now is an easier way to contribute to my YouTube channel. Buy a coffee by scanning this QR code now. Thank you. Oh, what a mess. So, moving on to comment questions. I have a great one here that I think that everybody's going to enjoy, because I've gotten this question a lot. To tell you the truth, I really have. So what I have here is a question from Carl Hukin. I think that's how it is. That's how it's pronounced. Anyway, what he says is that Keystone won't sell to the general public, that you need a resale license to buy from Keystone. Your good name without a resale number is not enough. I used to buy materials from a local shop in San Leandro, California, but I now live 6 hours from there. Amazon sells low-quality materials. Some upholstery shops will sell materials, but they're usually pretty expensive. So what I wrote to him was, "Hello, Carl. Here, are you telling them that you are general public or that you're an upholsterer? In 46 years, I've never had to show that I have a resale license because I don't have one." Hee hee, right? You just tell them, you just need to tell them that you'll pay the tax. I always have, therefore there is no resale tax involved. I have never charged a sales tax, therefore I never need to pay it. If you are going to pay shipping anyway, there are plenty of suppliers that would be happy to sell to you. That is what they do. They sell upholstery supplies. So try Santa Barbara Upholstery Suppliers in Glendale, Arizona. I left a phone number right there. Just do me a favor and tell them that I sent you. Please keep liking and watching. So that's what I'm talking about, is with Keystone. They have never asked me to present a retail license, even though I moved to like 3 different cities where they had Keystone locations. It was always the same. The first thing I told them is that I'm going to pay the tax. And they're like, okay. So I order my materials, I pay the tax, everybody's happy. So you can do that. I don't know if you tried that or not, but you might want to give that a try. But there's others, like I said, there's other smaller upholstery suppliers. They don't care who you are. You just walk in there, tell them what you want, and they'll sell it to you. Because like I said here, that's what they do. They sell upholstery supplies. All you have to do is just get on Google and just type in upholstery supplier near me. And if you're in an area where there's probably a larger population or something, maybe not a little small town, but you're going to find an upholstery supplier. And, just go in there, have a nice friendly conversation, say that you're really interested in upholstery, or that you're doing upholstery, or you have customers for upholstery. Tell them anything like that. And you know what? They're going to be happy to sell to you. So don't even worry about that. Now, how about some controversy? People, they love that, right? So the next question comes from the video, never unplug the yellow airbag wire. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Controversy. So we're going to go back to comments again, and I am going to show you this one. So Buford's said, there should be no need to reprogram or rearm any airbag after disconnecting it. Disconnect battery, lets system discharge for 30 minutes and disconnects the seat. The only time an airbag system has to be reprogrammed is if an airbag has been triggered or parts have been replaced. That's what he said. So, of course, I have to put in my 2 cents. What I said here was, "Hello, Bufords. Sounds reasonable. You must be a mechanic. But I have seen airbag lights on the dash before. I never risk it for my customers. As you can see, if I had actually taken the seat out unnecessarily, it would have taken much, much longer to do. And also, there is a huge risk of scratching the paint on the door jamb or scratching plastic parts. Logic would tell me that it is not worth the time of the risk or the risk to take so many extra steps to achieve the same outcome. Pros and cons, if you will. As you see in the video, it came out quickly with no risk to any damage or inconvenience to my customer. Win, win, win. Please keep liking and watching." So you guys can put in comments what you think about that one. What would you do? Would you bother taking out a seat and disconnecting an airbag? Or, do it like I did? So the next one comes from Dennis Christ. He says, "When you unplug the yellow airbag connector, it automatically grounds itself so that it won't energize itself. That's federally mandated. So you're safe by unplugging the connector. Hope that helps next time." Well, good thing the government got involved, right? So anyway, what I answered back to him is, "Hello, Dennis. I did not know that." Be a little. But I'm glad to know. So why then will the airbag light set off? Being that I have paying customers, I will never take the chance. As you see in my video, the point is it was not necessary to remove the seat at all. Just remove the cushion in 5 minutes instead. Please keep liking and watching. So then Bugada answered. He says, "I've unplugged a lot of seats and found that Mercedes will always set off the airbag light if you don't unplug the battery. Just about every other automaker doesn't have that problem. Still, best to avoid unplugging if you can. Some cars like Subarus have a ton of wires going through the seat covers, so I have to remove the seat to work on it." Like I say, big, big controversy. So do you unplug the yellow airbag wire or you don't unplug the yellow airbag wire? It really depends on who you're talking to. Okay, so Mercedes, okay, is it GM? Is it Nissan? Is it what? Are they all the same? Or are they all going to be different? Maybe somebody had worked on a Ford once and the airbag light didn't go on when they pulled out the seat. But is it going to be the same for the Toyota? Is it going to be the same for the Buick? What? So who's going to take that chance? Are you going to take that chance? Or are you going to be like me? I don't take that chance. And, I'd have to say, I can't even remember the last time I ever had to unplug a yellow airbag wire to take a seat out to do a seat repair. I just don't do it. I can't remember the last time. Can't remember. I can't remember. Because you know what? I always do the work without taking the seat out of the car. And, that's one of the selling points that I've always told my customers, that that's a service that I do for them. Because I never wanted to put my customers through the pain of having to go and take the car to a car dealer to have the airbags reset. And I've even had guys say, "Well, you just plug in the OSB connector and you erase the codes, right? Or whatever." But yeah, you can do that for codes, but you can't do that for airbags. It has to have a machine that's specifically to reset airbags from what I understand. That's what I was told. So I've had customers come to me in the past where they said that somebody worked on their car. They go to pick up their car, and there's a yellow airbag wire, um, not a wire, but the wire, the light, airbag light on their dash. And, they're like, well, what's going on here? Oh, we had to take your seat out to work on your seat. Okay, which was, they don't have to do that, right? So anyway, the customer has to go to the car dealer and have the airbags reset. And that's a pain for them. All they wanted to do is just have a seat repaired, right? So next is racing tag silver. Airbags are a big argument. People say remove the battery, but that scrubs the presets. I actually don't disconnect the battery, but I always take out the seat. Only German-made cars need the airbag light cleared. I feel doing the seat inside the vehicle is too complicated for no reason. Tight spaces in some cars and the inner panels need to be removed to install clips. Impossible to do without the seat coming out, in my opinion. So what I said to him was, hello, racing. I know such a controversial subject. As you can see, the job got done 10 times faster, my way, without any risk of damage. I'm just showing how I do it. I show, you decide. To me, taking out the seat is like someone removing the radiator to change the oil. Ha! Most likely not necessary. Please keep liking and watching. So what's it gonna be? Do me a favor and put in comments your experiences and your feelings about this. And let's make it a bigger controversy, okay? Let's do all the pros and cons and see who is for and who's for against unplugging a yellow airbag wire. No theories, okay? Just tell me about your experiences. What if we can get to the truth? Okay, is it really true that if you unplug a yellow airbag wire that it's not going to set off the airbag light on your dash for every car? Well, let's see what you guys have to say. So, my friends, we'll see you next Sunday morning for something completely different. Till next time, we'll see ya. If you like this video, you'll really like the next one.